Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 9. Day 9. Day 9. Um, Today, since I live in Taiwan, we have Tomb Sweeping Day. So even though it's a Wednesday, it's actually more like a Friday, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. Um. So let's get on with the 3 things I did today, or like the 3. Yeah, whatever. Uh, so for strength, we actually had a volleyball game today, and so I'm not the main setter on our varsity team. I'm our backup, slightly worse setter. Um, but because today was a friendly match and our like the our main setter wasn't having much success uh during his matches, I subbed in for the third set. Now, the thing is, compared to the actual like our main setter, I am not like in terms of like just pure setting skill, I am not as good. I'm not nearly as good. However, there's one thing I can do, and it is quite simple. Try new things, right? He has the pressure of living up to the spikers. Well, I don't. I have the freedom to just try whatever. So, the game was like we were losing a little bit, and I was like, okay, whatever, let's do this. And I did a dump. Now, what is a dump? It's not the dump you're thinking of. It's when in volleyball, your side gets 3 touches, right? So usually this is like how ideal volleyball would be. One guy receives the ball, gives it to the setter, and the setter will set the ball to one of the hitters, and then the hitters will just hit the ball and hope you win, right? And then just back and forth, back and forth. So what a setter dump is, instead of giving it to the spikers, you just doop, hit it over the net. This only really works if your opponents aren't paying attention, or if you're able to aim your dump very well into like a hole they have in their positioning. However, like if they're paying attention, or like if all of them are like completely locked in, it's not gonna really work. But because they weren't really paying attention, it's very hard to fully focus on what the opponents are doing, right? And then so I was able to catch them off guard with a dump, and I'm like, yes, oh, that felt good. So then there was another time, and I'm like, I'm about to dump on these dumpsters, yeah. But this time, the first time I did it, I was using my right hand, my dominant hand. But the second time I did it, I was doing my left hand. So what ended up happening is I did this, and instead of hitting it over the net, it spun. It just spun in place, and I was like, oh, ooh. It was kind of rough. Both, we lost 3-0 home court. But we live and we learn. It was rough, but like I think what I can prove on is just like my basic setting skills. It's just not up to par, and I think I should just try being more experimental. If they wanted a good setter, they would go with our main setter. But if they want something more experimental, I guess I'm the one for that. At least that's what I hope to become. Yeah. So that's it for strength. It was kind of rough today. We lost 3-0, but whatever. We live and we learn. Intelligence. Now the easy answer is I gone to school, but that's really, really boring. The real intelligence is about League of Legends macro. Yeah, I'm talking about League of Legends again. Okay, so let me tell you about League of Legends wave states. if you don't know what League of Legends is, it's a MOBA. So 5 people on an arena versus another 5 people, and you're trying to break their base. And a key part of it is minions. So minions will go down each lane, and you kill them for gold, right? And they're like the most important part of the game, because you need to create like a timeline how to win. Well, there's many ways to win: team fights, or like split pushing, right? You don't Team fights is you fight as a team, and split pushing, you split up and push into their base. Now, how can you do this, right? How can you do this safely? How can you do this efficiently? You just have better items than the opponent. You have more items. Your stats are stronger than the opponent's. So then you're like, okay, how do I get better items? You get gold. How do I get better gold? How do I get more gold? And it's minions. So minions are a key part. And today, I realized I'm not improving in League of Legends because I'm not learning. This is intelligence, okay? I'm not learning. I'm not trying to improve my wave management. I'm learning the character. Yeah, I'm getting better at the character, but that's not universal. If I switch to another character, I'll be just as crappy. So, I sat down and focused on learning minion. So, there's many things you can do. There's like hard pushing. Hard pushing is you kill the minions as fast as possible, so you can there's slow pushing, where you just slowly last hit the minions. I know I'm bringing up a bunch of terms, but this is something I'm interested in, and I'm talking about it. And there's like freezing, where you just make it so that the minion waves are on your side. The minion wave is on your side, but it's not hitting your tower. So if the opponent wants to hit our minions, they'll have to go over to our side, and that makes it so that like people can come in from the side and like pincer him, you know? I also did AP chemistry today. I had an AP chemistry class. Specifically, what I did for AP chemistry class is we talked about Unit 4, which started off with like chemical and physical change. This is quite easy. And then it's like, what shows a chemical change? Blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, there's a huge change in temperature, change in color. There's an odor that emits, and like a few other conditions, right? That are signs that it's a chemical condition, chemical change. Then we moved on to some, I think, we moved on to something. I think it's like electron balancing. So that's pretty interesting. And then we went to stoichiometry. And I hate stoichiometry, because the concept by itself is alright, but the thing is, the hardest part about stoichiometry is the calculator. Like, I could write the correct formula, and sometimes I do write the correct formula, but it doesn't matter if I click my calculator wrong. God damn it. But I have to lock in during stoichiometry, I guess. That's something I need to practice more. And for discipline, I'll be honest, I haven't done anything like disciplined today. Actually, never mind. I am creating a calendar. Oh, what do I mean? So recently, it has been rough planning my events, because I'm like, wait, do I have something on Friday? I don't think I have something on Friday. Wait, do I have something on Tuesday? I think I have something on Tuesday. So I'm just gonna make sure to write down all the events I have on my Apple like calendar thing. And this way, somebody asks me, hey Danzo, are you free on Friday? I can check it. I'm be like, ooh, I'm busy this day. Hey, I'm free Saturday. Why don't we hang out Saturday? So that would be nice. That's why I started, and that's very disciplined of me. Now, interesting topic. or topic of the day. I think topic of the day sounds good. Okay. Why I joined varsity volleyball? So, for me, I had two choices. I was on the fence between going to varsity and JV. On one hand, I can join JV, and it's probably better for my application because if I join JV as a junior, I'm basically guaranteed the role of captain, and that would be like nice to put on my college application. I also would get more playing time because I'll be the main setter for JV. However, life isn't about your accomplishments. It's about the journey. It's about self-growth. Would it really be okay if I joined JV? Yes, I would improve in like how much games I play, maybe in experience. But the thing is, the experience I'll be gaining is gaining against worse opponents. If I join varsity, I'll be doing varsity training and I'll be facing varsity opponents, which means that my volleyball skills, if you compare me if I join JV, would probably be like 10 times better. I'm not 10 times better, but like a lot better because I joined varsity. And I think that's what ultimately settled me to go to varsity. Also, it's not bad on the application, varsity volleyball. Yeah. So that's it for day 9. We're gonna have a long weekend, so hopefully I'll have some interesting things to talk about. Bye bye.